You're tuned in to the Crew Podcast and Media Network, where voices rise, stories shine, and purpose meets the world.
Welcome to the Crew. Come on in. This is where it starts. We are the change. We are the change. Right here in our heart. Welcome home, welcome through. There's a place for you. The Crew around the world, lifting every voice too. We make space for the voiceless, hope for the undeserved. Real talk, real stories. Every voice deserves to be heard. Streaming live, we on the move. Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube. From the mic to the nations, we build transformation. Change begins with us. Faith, purpose, power, trust. Seen around the world tonight. That Crew shining bright. Come on in and this is where it starts. We are the change. We are the change. Right here in our hearts. Welcome home, welcome through. There's a place for you. The Crew around the world, lifting every voice too. Tune in nightly, Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Miss the live, catch the replay, 15, 20 more behind. We are the change. We are the change.
Down in South Carolina, where the stories rise, there's a queen with a mission, fire in her eyes. 20 years and counting, serving wisdom on the shelves, helping voices find the courage to believe in themselves. She opens up the pages, lets the hidden story shine. Black and brown author stepping boldly into time, with a mic and a message. She's changing the scene. Everybody knows her name. She's a literary queen.
From the library shelves to the podcast stream, you lift every author, you wake up a dream. Tuesday night at 8 and the room leans in.
Patrice, Grimball, let it all begin.
And Scbookgal, keep shining your light, lifting up the authors, bringing stories to life.
Patrice, Grimball.
We see your dream, literary queen, literary queen. Scbookgal, let the whole world see
Patrice, Grimball.
your legacy. From the page to the air, you set it free. Literary queen, literary queen.
Hey everyone, this is your girl Scbookgal 843, and how are you today? Okay, that's good. I'm doing great, you know, blessed, getting my little girl ready for school. She's gonna be in sixth grade. I'm very excited, and all the little graduates from them last year in their school. I miss you guys. Oh my God, I miss them. But tonight, you guys, I got a new author and a new book. Y'all just don't understand. It is so exciting to bring these authors to you because I have a lot of fun interviewing them. I have a lot of fun going back and reading them work. I have a lot of fun following them on social media. You know what I'm saying? Today, a new twist on old traditions. I know you're thinking, Patrice, what in the world? That is not your normal. Don't get it twisted, okay? I might like my erotica, I like my urban, I might like my street, but then I do read other genres, you guys. Don't enclose me in that box because I'm about to break it out. I don't do that. So I am going to bring up Doctor. I'm not going to say author, but it is Doctor Tierra Graves. Come on up, come on up, come on up, girlie. Hey,
Hello, hello.
how are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for this opportunity to share. And I look forward to the conversation on this evening.
Thank you for being here because you know I love bringing y'all up. So, first, before we go to the book, let's get to know a little bit about you. So tell us about yourself.
So, hello everyone. I am Dr. Tiara Graves. I am the founder and CEO at Books by T. That is my book brand, book business. That's where it all started. I am a 10-time published author. I'm a 4-time bestseller. I'm also a licensed grief specialist coach. I am a Christian mental health specialist coach as well. And when I'm not writing, I am educating in the classroom. I am a professor. I bring you greetings here from our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. So I'm excited to be here on tonight to share one of my book babies that I actually launched back in 2020. So this is not a new release, but it's new to you all. For you that are just meeting me and just connecting with me, this is new, but it's not new in the Books by T world. Um, so this is actually my second publication that I'm bringing to you guys on tonight, so that I'm excited about.
I love that. So Washington D.C. So you live next door to the Orange Man. I'm sorry.
That's what everybody say. The funny thing is, I work 3 blocks from the White House, so
Oh, girl. Oh, South Carolina. I forgot to tell you. So y'all heard what happened to him. You know, I usually say this in the beginning, but don't let it deter you guys. Okay. Still, November, go vote. Okay. We'll talk about that later. Make sure y'all got y'all papers in. You know, I give y'all that tip later on. Okay. Because the orange man got stuck. So,
let's stay
um,
focused.
girl, because I will go off.
I
Oh
know,
my God.
sometimes I don't like to say where I'm from because I think we already got a bad rap because of
I
everything
don't
that's
know.
happening on Pennsylvania
Nobody wants to
Avenue.
go. You know, because we all, oh yeah, girl, I going to DC. Nowadays, you going to DC? Girl, I ain't going there.
Right,
we we still love y'all, but you know, guilty by association.
right, absolutely.
So you're a professor, and you said you're an
Yeah,
English professor.
correct.
Why? Why English? You would hate me as a student.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
love
God.
English. It was always one of those subjects. I always say, as a student, like just looking back to when I was in grade school, either you love English or you hate it. You know, like I don't think English is one of those subjects that they have a middle. I just, I've never thought they have a middle, right? It's the same with math. You know, you either you love math or you hate it. So I feel like all the English gurus hated math, right? And all the math gurus hated English. Like that's just kind of how it went down.
That's
And
true.
yeah, literally. That's just, if you think back to when you was in school, you was like, if you was an English student, you loved all of the reading the books, reading the poetry, all of the things that came with literature. But if you either you was an A student in English, but you was like a C, D student in math, they kind of just don't go together. It's either you choose math or English. That's just the choice. And
And
so
y'all,
I always loved English and literature, even when I was in middle school. So middle school was when I really got started into writing, and at age 12, I won a poetry contest at my school, and I was named Student of the Month. And that's when I started to dabble in my writing experience, and I was just like, oh, you know what? I think I'm really good at this, right? Y'all bear with me; it's storming here. And I'm in my car. But
so
so that's when I started
she
writing as
dropped.
a young girl.
And
And
she, mm-hmm.
when I got to college, I actually had a professor in one of my English classes tell me that my work reminded her of Emily Dickinson. So if y'all don't know Emily Dickinson, let me school you real quick. Emily Dickinson is literally like the white Maya Angelou. Let's just call it what it is. And she didn't get a lot of credit for her work because it was so dark. And a lot of things she wrote about, grief and relationships and, love and hate and all of the things. But if you dig a little deeper, you know, you understood that she was dealing with mental health challenges and she was dealing with, rejection, and all of these things. And I started writing from that same place because it was a place where it was familiar. And sometimes we don't realize why we write the way we write. But a lot of our writing experiences may come from a pain in our life, and that pain has awakened that creativity. Because that's all writing is. Writing is a way to express yourself. It's creativity. It's allowing you to take the things that's going on in your mind that you probably can't verbally say, but you can put it on paper. And so I started to do that, and I started to do it more, and I just fell in love with it, right? I never thought that I would be an author, and I definitely never thought 10 times. Like literally. I mean, the first one was amazing to me. I was satisfied after the first book, but I just knew that I had so much more in me that needed to be said. And so I just I just became a writer, and I write poetry, I do anthologies, um I write essays, I write songs, I just write. Like I just love writing. And that's just I found that to be my safe place. I found that to be my outlet when I feel, when my back is up against the wall and I feel like I can't, talk about it, or I don't have no one to talk it out with, so to speak, or talk it through with. You know, my writing has helped me heal in so many areas that I think I would have still been stuck in had it not been for writing. So I said on another podcast a couple of weeks ago that writing chose me, and I'm so glad that it did, because the person that I am as an author and just as a well-rounded educator as a whole, it came from what I learned in those literature classes, what I learned in, British literature, American literature, Gothic fiction. I took a whole lot of courses. I took poetry courses and contemporary writing and all types of courses, in college. But the person that I am as a writer developed over time. And every time I'm able to write a book and put out a new piece, it just shows me my growth and how I have evolved as an author and just as a writer. And it helps me too in the classroom as an educator, because now I can take my work and I can use what I've written to teach my students. And so that's the book. And I'm probably just talking. I'm just talking. But the book that we're going to talk about tonight is just that. When COVID hit and everybody was moved to online classes, God placed it in my heart to write a book that would be able for teachers and parents and students to have an outlet, like not just to teach them how to write poetry, but just to have this space to jot down their ideas, jot down their frustrations, jot down their pain, their anger, and all of the things. And so I wrote a new twist on old traditions, and then I paired it with a workbook. And this book duo series is poetry. And what it is teaching anyone, not just students. It's teaching parents, it's teaching other teachers, and it's teaching students how to write poetry in 7 different styles. And so, Patrice mentioned earlier that she reads all of these different genres. And it's funny because I did a lesson at work last week on genres, because we don't realize that all of these poetry is also a genre, but in poetry you have so many subgenres that people don't even
Genres. Yeah.
realize, right? So you think of, oh, I
Yeah.
read nonfiction, I read fiction. That's just the main things that people know, right? I read folklore, or I read fantasy or drama, right? But poetry
Mm-hmm.
is in a lane all by itself, because there's so many styles of poetry that the average person won't even tap into because they don't read poetry. And if you do, you just think roses are red, violets are blue. That sounds like poetry to you. Well, it's bigger than that.
Hold up,
Okay?
hold
So
up.
much bigger than that.
You so wrong for that. Not the roses are red, Bob. You are so
I mean,
wrong
I
on
just have to
so many
educate
levels
the
for that.
people. I mean, because that's what they teaching people in
That is
school.
true. That that is
And it's
true. They
so big.
be
It's bigger than that. Literally, it's
you do
so
a
much
little
bigger than that.
you do a little haku, no haiku.
Haiku.
There you go. And then there, she's. Oh Lord, I still can't get off. She said, "Oh God, resins are red." I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah,
I
roses
want.
are red, violets are blue. That sounds like poetry to you. I know. This is what, yeah. This is the
So let
world
me
of
ask
an
you a question.
educator.
So let me ask you a question. COVID was a time that was difficult for all of us. I remember not being able to sleep, not because I was scared per se. It was the unknown, and I think
Right.
just this book being out and you educating on how you can use a sonnet or what's the other
Yes.
one, limerick, and you
Limericks.
can use
Uh-huh.
those as an avenue to get those feelings out, because a lot of us we couldn't we we couldn't see each other. The calling was getting insane. You really got sick and tired of calling people,
Right.
but you still needed that outlet. So you coming up with this book was just so on target and on time. What did your readers or your students or your parents, what did they say when they read the book?
A lot of people love the workbook. A lot of people love the workbook. They gravitated to the workbook because the workbook is something tangible, and it allows you to use the workbook to develop your own skills as a writer. So even if you don't know what a sonnet is or you don't know what a limerick is, I teach you that through the book. So it's literally like a lesson plan within a book. So it's a step by step guide to not only tell you what it is, but I give real life examples. I actually wrote a poem in the style of a sonnet about COVID. And so it's just it's it's real life. And so I'm really proud of these two projects because um like you said, during that time, 2020 was a hard year for a lot of people, and just being able to like, people love to journal anyway. So if you want to think about it that way, think about, not only am I learning to write poetry, but I can use these poems that I'm learning to write as my journal entries. Like, this is me just jotting down, how my day went or how my week went, or what happened in my life, especially during that time when all of the educational systems was moved to online. So there's a lot of challenges for students. We had a lot of internet problems. Students can't log in. Teachers getting frustrated. And I was one of those teachers because during that time in 2020, I was working at a high school. So I've only been on the college level for August will be 3 years that I've been on a college level, but for 7 years I worked with DC public schools. And so when we moved to online, it was very frustrating because you're trying to keep students interested, you're trying to keep students engaged, and you behind a screen. And most students are not interested because it's like they think, oh, I'm watching my teacher like they watching a Netflix series. So you trying to figure out how to keep them engaged, and it's like, I did not get on here for y'all to just stare at me and look at me and think that this is just Netflix and chill, because it's not. And so
Listen,
literally I wrote the book
listen.
as a way to help incorporate this book into what you're doing every single day anyway, as an outlet for everybody. This is an outlet for teachers, an outlet for parents. I mean, parents had, like, think about the summertime when your kids are not in school. This is a great outlet for them. Give them this workbook and say, here, go learn some poetry. And it's so, poetry is near and dear to my heart because as an English teacher, poetry has been removed from our curriculum. I don't know, much about the other schools like in South Carolina, but in DC, poetry is not a part of our curriculum. And so again, as a teacher,
Yeah.
you're always in this, this realm of like educating somebody on something. And so it was prevalent that I wrote this book and that it came out when it came out, because we were all struggling on what are we actually educating these kids on, and what to do when all of us are stuck in a house and stuck behind a computer screen and we don't know for how long.
Listen here, I understand because I became a teacher. You know, I tell you the truth. I did become a teacher, and I still ain't get my teacher appreciation gift. So when we
I
get
know
off this
that's right.
podcast, I'm going to get this little chick because I should have gotten a gift. But I totally understand because it was so frustrating. My
Yeah,
son was a senior, and my daughter was in kindergarten, and that
yeah,
was the most frustrating time. Man, I know 2 plus 2 equals 4, but then they started all this new math, and
right.
then they would bring the English, and I said, "Hold up, adverb, verb." I'm no, I don't know. Not, okay, I was on the phone with teacher plenty of times. Listen, this ain't like it used to be when I was younger, so we got to do something better. But this book would have been great because it would have did the job itself. But now, but as parents, we still got to go in and help. Okay, just
Right,
don't give them the book.
absolutely. You don't just get in a
No,
book and
no.
say, "Call me when you finish the book." Like, no, like, but it's also it's a great conversation starter, right?
I
So
was
if the
just about
parent
to
is
say that.
frustrated and the child is frustrated, then the child writes in a free verse, for example, and they write out those frustrations, right? Like, hey, today I'm frustrated because my internet went down. And so, but you're doing it in a creative way. So now they want to rhyme, right? Internet went down, and now I'm going down with it, and I don't know what to do. And like, I ain't really a rapper, y'all. I'm really a poet. But like, all of the things, like, people just need that space to just express themselves in a unique way. And that's what I think this book gave people, because just from the people in this area that had purchased copies of it, that's exactly what they said they used it for. And then, like I said, I have real life examples and real life experiences to guide you along. I have definitions, I have really nice pictures and graphics. It's a really great book. Um, and so, like I said, it was just a hard time. And I just thought about, like, how could I write something that is meaningful, but it's also can, lighten the mood about what everything that's going on, and just truly give people that space to feel heard. Because now you could take my workbook and then take my workbook, and what you wrote in that workbook can be your next book.
Uh-oh.
Literally,
Yep.
because that's what it is.
And
It's your
that
ideas.
you
It's no longer my
are.
ideas.
Yo, I would have never thought like that. And a lot of people, I know we're talking about COVID in this book, originating in COVID, but y'all know what I said. There's no such thing as an old book because not everybody has read every book. And even
Right,
in the times that we're in right now, with and I mean everything that's going on, this can also help you
right,
because I journal at night. And the reason why I journal is so I can go to sleep. I did not
right.
realize my mind is going 95
Yeah.
and I
And I
just
was
have to.
and the same thing. So I journal, and that's what made me do the workbook, because I was like, there's so many people out here like me that are journal. They journal, like, literally just sit down and express how you feel for that particular day. And like I said, that's what this workbook does. And not only does it allow you that space to share your ideas, but it's also introduces you to 7 new styles of poetry that outside of this book you probably won't never be exposed to on that. I'm just saying, unless you a poetry guru like me and you just sit and read poetry all the time, but the average person doesn't. So if you are new to poetry, then this is a great place for you to start because I talk about so the seven styles: haiku, sonic, limerick, um, free verse, narrative, pastoral poems, and
Oh, I know the last
what
one.
was
I
the
know
other
that
one?
one. Oh,
Oh, odes.
odes,
Yeah.
odes.
So odes are really fun to write. So odes are
Yes.
actually songs, and that's what people don't know. Like it's so many connections that you could with poetry. So if you're a singer or if you're in the music lane, start with odes because odes are literally poems that are written that you can put music to later on, and it actually becomes a song. So I wrote 7 songs. And it's so funny because my pastor in my church, she actually sung one of my songs from my book. And it
What?
was amazing
Don't.
because I was like, oh my gosh, she actually took it and actually sung it. Like it was so beautiful. Like it was so beautiful because that's what it's intended to do. These different styles of poetry is it's lyrical, y'all. It's musical. It's rhythmic. It's dance. It's art. It's theater. It's all of the things impact in one.
Well,
And you don't
since
really get all of that from a novel. You
no,
just
you
don't.
no, you don't. Now, since you said poetry is all that, I remember I talked to you behind the scene about those fun questions. So we're gonna put you in the hot seat, baby. You going in the hot seat. So let's bring you on over here.
Oh,
So
we in the hot seat.
in the hot seat. All right. So poetry. Okay. You have to write a poem about your favorite musical artist of the 80s. Who would that artist be first?
So I actually did that already. I did that in the book. I
Okay, who did
wrote
you do it?
I wrote a poem about Cinderella. So the song that Brandy did, in my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. I wrote a poem. I actually wrote a poem in the book paying homage to the original artist that wrote that song from Cinderella because that is who I am. Behind poetry, I can become whoever I want to be. And most of the time that I'm writing, I am in my own corner. And whatever that corner looks like for you. But for me, it's in my room, at my desk, in my corner. And so when she wrote that song, and it's like I said, this book, y'all, I'm telling you, it's so many, and the title alone, we haven't gotten into the title, but the title alone should tell you that there's some twists, literally. And that's one of them. Being able to not just write in these styles, but writing these styles in a way that I pay homage to the tradition of that style and give it a twist. No one would think that I would write about the song from Cinderella, but it's that that's one of my favorite pieces in the book. Like it
Okay,
literally is.
okay. So we got the piece from Cinderella. Is that the one she did with Whitney Houston? That's the only one she
Yes,
has. Impossible. I used to like that little
yes,
song. Oh my
impossible.
god,
That's it.
that was a jam.
That
I like that little
yes,
song.
yes,
So okay, so we have the song with Brandy and Cinderella. Okay.
yes.
Oh yeah, because Brandy and her husband from that movie is in the new Descendants movie.
Right.
Yeah, I got an 11-year old. I gotta know this stuff. Don't
But
ask me
again,
why.
I had to write things that were relatable to young people, right? So
And
everybody
that is
knows
true.
Cinderella, right?
Everybody knows
So
Cinderella.
when you
Okay.
read the poem, you will start to, and the way that I rhyme it like the song, but I changed the lyrics.
All right, all right. So we got Brandy and the song from Cinderella. So, but now we have you have to do another. another type of poetry, okay? And it has to be about your favorite sitcom from the 90s. What sitcom would it be, and what type of poem would you write?
Man, that I haven't done because I'm really not a TV person.
Okay.
But growing up, I think I was connected to Sister growing up because I have sisters. And so I throw my sisters under the bus in this book as well. So I wrote a limerick called Baby Sister, and then I wrote another limerick. Um, I forgot the titles of all of them, and I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, so sister, because um being the middle child, people don't, I mean, it's a real thing. There's a middle child syndrome that
Yes.
most people
Yo.
don't really understand that it really exists because it really exists. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
my
So let me
sisters,
ask you.
I talk about both of my sisters in this book, and I also wrote a poem under my um tributes. So I have a section in the book called tributes, and I wrote a poem for my youngest sister. Actually, my youngest sister lost her first child in 2017, and I
Wow.
wrote a poem called Missing My Unborn, and I wrote that for my sister as a means, like I said, to help her navigate through grief and just know that she wasn't alone in this, and um that she can look back at this poem, and again having something tangible that you can just go back to whenever
Mhm.
you need it, like maybe at like every time the anniversary of that reminder, she has this poem that she could go back to and know that you know that I did this for her, So yeah, sister, because I have two amazing sisters. Um I'm the middle child, but haven't like I also incorporated my mother in this book as well. So my mother has a poem that she published in this book. So like I said, I'm really proud of this particular project and how it all came together, and what the intention behind it, and um just like I said, just being able to have that creative space to just educate the readers on something that they ordinarily wouldn't pick this up on the shelf. You would probably just walk past it because just of the title alone, you would be like, what? Nah.
Yep. And that is understandable. But before we leave here tonight, we know the title of the book. We see the books. Now you got to tell us where we can get the books and how we can follow you. So go ahead and give us the rundown.
So all of my books are available nationwide wherever books are sold. They are available at over 700,000 distributors in stores and online. My business page is Books by T. So that's BOOKSBY and then TEA, and it's one word. That's also my YouTube channel as well. Um, but all of the books can be purchased, like I said, anywhere. If you like Amazon, they on Amazon, they on Kindle. I even have audio books as well. So if you one of those that just want to get in your car and listen to it and let somebody read it to you, you have that option as well. Um, but yeah, Books by T. That's my that's my brand. That's my hashtag line and all of the things. That's who I am. Outside of being an educator, outside of being in the classroom, I love to put uh, pen to paper and get those ideas out. So, like I said, follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. Listen, all of the things. Literally, I'm on all of these platforms, right? But yes, I'm just excited for just just this gift. Like I don't take it for granted that I have a gift to be a writer. Like, it is something that is unique. to from author
Hmm.
to author. Not everybody writes the same, but I always say it's really special when you can find your writer's voice. And once
There
you know
you go.
what that is, and then you can just let it catapult you to who knows where.
To where
Like
you
I
need to
said,
go.
I can be whoever I want to be.
So you guys, if you're looking at the bottom of the screen, you see all her social media handle. Then you know, if you handle head on over to our blog tomorrow, I will have her podcast interviews up and her direct links to Amazon where you can go ahead and purchase the book. Okay, you guys, go ahead and do it. This would be something great to do in your leisure time. Okay,
Yeah,
it's something just to help you unwind. It could be great if you think about it. Relationship wise, it can be the best. Okay? Um, so go ahead and grab it. Don't be strange. Go ahead and follow her because I didn't realize I was following you until I looked at my phone when we first got on. Yes, me. Hold on. Books by T on Tick. Why by her? And there it goes right there saying following. You know what? I can't. But I want to thank you for being with us tonight, girlie.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I hope that something I said was inspiring, and that this conversation would, just like you doing, you introducing books to different people that, maybe this is a genre that you never stepped into, and maybe now this is your opportunity to explore a different genre that you may not have been exposed to before this podcast. So we just thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I thank Patrice for having me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity and this experience to share my work, and just to have a few minutes just to talk about books, because that's what I love. Like, being an educator, like I said, I love literature, I love English, all things English, I love all things writing, all of the things. And I read a lot of genres as well, but my baby is definitely poetry.
So you guys go ahead and grab her poetry book and don't be a stranger. Go ahead and follow her. You never know. You might find her online one day reading some poetry. You never know.
Yeah, I
But
do.
thank you
I
for
do that
you do.
sometimes too. I do
See,
on my business page. I
there you
do.
go. But thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so
You guys, it's another Tuesday, another book, another author in the books. Okay, you guys go grab it. This is a great conversation starter. And even if you're in a relationship and you and your girl want to spend time together, this is another way to do that. Now, remember, next week Tuesday, new author, new book. Remember, there's no such thing as an old book because not everybody has read every book. You have a
Welcome to